than all of you guys. Chandler's dad. What are you gonna do if you win 20 grand?
I'm gonna give me something right around.
Okay.
I bought 6 cars, all for my kids. And I'm the only one without a car now. Wow, my oldest son blew mine up.
That's the check for 20 grand. We'll put in a tape.
This is Abby Allen, an American Israeli who was family that was kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th. My family were peace lovers. They lived in the kibbutzim that they did because they believed deeply in peace. They were the ones who were taking Palestinians from the border to get medical care in Israel.
How do I love thee? Let me count.
This is a 2012 Mitsubishi i-Nia. And it looks like an egg. Like an egg had a baby with a golf cart. That is the i-Nia. Although this is no golf cart. It's an actual electric car made by Mitsubishi that came out about 10 years ago to compete with the Nissan Leaf and the Chevy Volt. Except nobody bought it. Today, we're going to find out why. And I'm going to show you all of the crazy perks and features of the Mitsubishi i-Nia. Before I get started, big news. This Mitsubishi i-Nia is currently for sale, being auctioned live on Cars and Bids. Yes, that's right, the i-Nia. Most people don't remember it, and those who do remember it only as a joke. That's to be yours on Cars and Bids. So, once you finish watching this video, click the link in the description below to head over to the live auction for this i-Nia, where you can bid it and buy it with no reserve, only on Cars and Bids. All right, time for the tips and features of the very quirky and not very featuring i-Nia. Let's start with a general overview of what this is. Specifically, I want to underscore that despite its appearance, the i-Nia was not some golf cart, not a low-speed vehicle you were intended to drive around your experiment. This was an actual electric car that you were supposed to do actual car things with. Take it to the grocery store, take it on the freeway. It was an early electric.
Hey guys, I'm a little hurting a little, but give me a break. Hey, hurt my mouth, blah 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 blah.
The i-Nia was first. This was the first modern production electric vehicle. It came out of Japan in late 2009, and it came to the United States a couple of years later, late 2011, as a 2012 model. It was the beginning of the EV revolution. But even though the i-Nia was first, it was certainly not best. Even by early EV standards of 15 years ago, the numbers didn't look good. When it was new, the EPA rated the i-Nia at 62 miles range between charges. It also had only 66 horsepower. 0-60 came in 13 seconds, and it topped out around 81 miles an hour. So highway speeds, but just. And then there was the styling. The i-Nia looked like an egg. Really, like I said earlier, like an egg and a golf cart had a love child, and it came out with a Mitsubishi logo on the front. I am filming this video in a parking lot. Someone came up to me a second ago and said, "What is this thing?" And I explained it. They said, "That is the ugliest car I have ever seen." That person has clearly never seen an original Aston Martin Honda. But the point stands, it was not an attractive vehicle. Now, the i-Nia is based on a gasoline-powered Mitsubishi K car that was sold in Japan since 2006. Japan hates cars in the government regulation size class that try to incentivize automakers to make tiny space-maximizing vehicles for crowded cities. And that's why the i-Nia looks like this. But needless to say, it doesn't translate well to American roads or roads anywhere else, thankfully. But anyway, next let's move on to the other parts of the i-Nia, because EV is a very early EV with ridiculously awful performance
Oh, wow, it's too
to
hard to.
rent the car's charge time. You turn on the remote, as you can see I've done, and then you can use these silver buttons to tell the car when to start charging. So, like, if the electricity in your area is super at night, you can say, hey, don't charge for 4 hours, start charging then to take advantage of the lower electricity rates. And then you would press a button on the side of this remote, and it would transmit this information to the car, but only if you had your antenna up. And that's how you dealt with charging instructions for the IES. Once you've unlocked the car, open the door, you discover the door panel is fairly standard. It uses one giant circle to kind of include everything: an armrest, window switches, a door storage pocket. It's kind of a cute design, but nothing particularly interesting today.
Spectrum Business is made to work the way small business works. Made to deliver award-winning security technology. Made to connect and protect every device. And made to keep your business network your business. Spectrum Business, made to work.
Distracted drivers are dangerous. There's the sneaker peeker and the night lighter. And it's not long until they become the got a ticket person. Or even the driver who kills someone.
I have a little pressure. Okay.
There, you get inside though, and you start to see that this car doesn't really have, well, a lot of features. The first thing you see to the left of the steering wheel is a lot of blank switches. Quite a few items over here that, oh, you just don't get. Then you look at the seats and you see padding and contours weren't really a priority. The seat bottom in particular is basically just flat. This isn't exactly a supportive, comforting, hug-you-in-place car seat. It was a chair that you would sit on to drive your idea. Nothing more. The idea also didn't have central cup holders, although it did have individual cup holders for driver and passenger. To the left of the steering wheel, this little plastic panel, you pull it down, that's your cup holder. Strangely enough, it's square. Same deal over on the passenger side, panel here, you pull it down, and you have a square cup holder. Now, you will notice that there is a cup holder between the front seats, but it's positioned far back. That's for the rear seats, and there's only one. So rear seat passengers can fight over who gets to use the cup holder. Now, in the central control stack of the IVEA, you have 3 dials of your climate controls, and frankly, they're fairly straightforward. You do have air conditioning in this car, although using it robs you of a significant amount of range. Check out the range number. I turn on the air conditioning, it drops significantly, and now I'm turning up the air conditioning, I'm turning up the fan, and the range is dropping basically with every twist of the dial to turn the air conditioning higher. Less and less range, corresponding almost 1-to-1, dropping the range as I increase the air conditioning. So you didn't really want to use the climate control that much. In fact, if you got cold, Mitsubishi suggested instead of using the climate controls, you use the heated seat. There is just one heated driver's seat. The button is under the dashboard on the driver's side. You can turn it on and warm yourself, and that would use less energy than using the climate control system to heat up the interior if you needed to maximize your range. As for your passengers, sorry, you were out of luck. Only one heated seat in this car. But let's go back to that gauge cluster, which you saw a second ago. It looks like Mickey Mouse. You can see a large circle in the middle, and then 2 mouse ears coming off both sides. Really, you can't look at it and not see that. The large circle in the center, in the middle, is your speed, a digital miles per hour speed readout. And then on the edge of that, there's a dial that shows like your current use situation. So there's eco, if you're driving economically. There's power, if you're really for it, to make full use of the 66 horses. And then there's also a charge component here too, in case you're using regen. So the needle on this dial is around like a tachometer as you drive around in your idea. Now, the upper right mouse here in the gauge cluster shows your range. As you can see in the low 40s right now, not a lot of idea. The upper right mouse here shows 2 things. One is your charge capacity. So you can see this idea is almost full, almost completely charged. And it has in the 40s miles of range left. Not exactly great. Now you also have a display here showing what year you are in. You can see P, R, M, D, and a couple of others, and those are always displayed there. Now, the year selector situation in the IVF is also rather interesting. For one thing, you have a leather-wrapped gear lever, which is odd because there is no other leather anywhere in this interior. Everything has been cheaply made, in here. Now, we have simple C, R, and D in this steel lever, and below that you have the eco. If you put it into eco, it robs you of a lot of power and basically ensures that you never go beyond the eco display in your gauge cluster. This is obviously for more economic.
Not all grills are created equal. Napoleon has features not found on other grills. When you put it supercells to form, if it happens like this, if it happens as the HRRR is depicting it will, it likely won't. It'll probably be a little different, right? The HRRR.
Now, interestingly, also in this center area, if you go below the center control set, behind the shift lever, you have a USB port here. You can plug in your device and then play it through the infotainment system, which is surprisingly high tech at the time. In fact, this infotainment screen is actually a touch screen, believe it or not, which really surprises me for a car from the early 2010s, especially a relatively cheap one like this. And if you go to the audio section of the screen, Bluetooth audio is an option that you have, which was just starting to come into luxury cars in the 2011-12 era. Well, you had it in your idea. Other than that, this infotainment system, as you can imagine, not exactly great. It's not just a music player and a navigation system. It doesn't really include any other functions, and the displays aren't exactly high quality by modern standards, not especially nice, but it's there for navigation and audio. Disappointingly, if you want to adjust the volume, there's no dial. You just have to tap the volume button up or down, and that's just the way it works in the idea. By the way, one interesting trick of this infotainment system is you first need to open the button, the screen will flip and slide forward to give you access to a DVD slot or you can insert
Something else. Something new.
Like that? Ain't nothing better than a little bit of bambola.
little pain, guys. So yeah, I'm a little bit pain, but I decided I do a video. Blink still, so it's a little talk.
And this gives you a little insight into the chaos that is Mitsubishi's corporate structure here in North America. Now, also interesting, on the outside of this car, you have two different charge port doors for two different types of chargers, different locations, different shapes. Over on the passenger side, you have this little circular charge port door, and over on the driver side, you have a more traditional, looks like a wheel door, that's for a different size charge port. And accessing these charge ports is kind of hilarious. On the passenger side is pretty easy. Underneath the dashboard on the driver's side, you have this latch, which is obviously just a repurposed foot latch. You pull that, and then the passenger charge port will open. The funnier one is over on the driver's side. To access that, you look to the left of the driver's seat. You have a latch here to open a fuel door. It even has a fuel icon on it. You pull that, and then the driver's side charge port door opens. Now, I mentioned earlier that the idea was created by repurposing a gasoline-powered Mitsubishi that already existed. Clearly, they just kept the fuel door latch and the fuel door and didn't bother to get it done. And so, to access your charge port, you pull a latch for the non-existing fuel door. And by the way, speaking of charging, it was, predictably, a disaster with this car. Level 1 charging, so a household outlet, took 22 and a half hours to recharge. Level 2 charging, like what you have for your phone dryer, that would recharge the car in about 7 hours. Now, there was an option that you could get a level 3 public charger, because people didn't have it in their homes at the time, and that would go from 0 to 80% charge in about 30 minutes, which doesn't sound so bad until you remember that 80% charge is only about 50 miles of range back. So at home, it took you 7 hours on a level charger to get 62 miles out of this car. Needless to say, it wasn't exactly a road trip vehicle. But anyway, speaking of things in this car, looking on the charge ports in the tailgate, the front compartment does open. There's a latch in the passenger side footwell. Obviously, a carryover from the fact that this car was developed for right-hand drive, that would have been in the driver's side footwell. They didn't bother to move it over and get rid of the car for left-hand drive. So you pull this latch in the passenger side footwell, and you pop open this front compartment to here, and then you can lift it up the rest of the way. And you see there's really nothing else. There's no storage compartment, but you do have some mechanical things, some fluids, a regular car battery, and that's what you have in the front of your IVF. But since I'm outside the IVF, let's talk through some more exterior absurdities of this car, starting with your wheels and tires. These wheels, 3 spokes, 4 lug nuts, 15 inches, and the front tires are only 145 width, which is just incredibly narrow. This car was little, it didn't weigh much, it didn't have much power. Those are all the tires it needed. Now, in back, the IVF had 175 width tires, significantly wider than the fronts, in order to handle the drag strip pulls. When the car would squat back, you wanted more rubber on the ground. Actually, it did have wider tires because there was more weight back there. The motor is in the back of this car. Electrical components are heavier in back. In fact, this car was rear engine, rear wheel drive, just like a Porsche 911. Unlike a 911, it had only 66 horsepower, but it did have a respectable 145 pound-feet of torque, which it's not really bad. No, it's terrible. It's really quite bad. And it sent this car from 0 to 60 in 13 seconds, like I mentioned before, which is even more impressively slow considering the idea that it weighed about 2,550 pounds, incredibly lightweight, and yet still incredibly slow. And interestingly, it was also surprisingly expensive. The base